Hello, hello. Welcome back. You are listening to Unfiltered with D and G. Dan and George. I am George. This is my co-host, Dan.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 14.
14.
Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, my God.
Delicious.
Anyway,
That's the way we roll.
if you've never listened to us before, we are here to give you some insight on how guys think. Well, at least how we think.
Absolutely.
What goes on in our minds, how we process information, how we think the world works. So just as a disclaimer, there might be some
Misinformation.
here and there. Anyway, Dan, what's our first topic?
Well, off the topic, I just went out recently. I went to Fat Tuesday kind of celebration, and, something I just want to get off my chest. Even though the place was busy, things were happening, having a great time, meeting people, celebrating, having drinks. When the night came to an end, the establishment lost my credit card. You know what? That just drove me insane. Even though I kept my cool, how does a fucking place do that these days?
Did you cancel your credit card?
I later did. Later in the evening, it took a couple hours time I got home and worked through my own issues, I guess. But yes, card was canceled. But seriously, you know what an inconvenience that is?
Oh, absolutely.
Fucking pissed me off. It's just 5 days later, I'm still pissed.
Just having to wait for your credit card so that you can, now you can't use that credit card. You have probably other payments that go through there.
Well, I do. I utilize that card for a lot of, bills, I guess. Things are tied into that card now. What an inconvenience. I'm just so annoyed.
So now
I was having a great time.
You got to change the numbers. You
change everything.
Cards to all those other bill pays. Yeah.
So it's just so frustrating, and it's like, I didn't take it out on the people. I'm very nice and sweet and generous guy. But it's something that just annoyed me because, there's always something in life there's always a hurdle. Doesn't matter.
Right.
And to me, this week was my hurdle. That every day, every week, every month, and it's like we're, as people, we're never caught up. There's always another hurdle. It's always a hurdle.
You know what we call that?
Obstacles. It's called life.
No, it's called first world problems.
Yeah, exactly.
You lose your credit card
right?
that you can get after a couple of weeks.
Right. Your payment I'm not even going to make anyway. No, but I mean, you're right. Yeah, that's, other worlds and countries, they would feel real sorry for me.
No, but
still,
it's
annoying.
It's funny that we, not that you're complaining. It is frustrating and a hassle. But that comes, it brings to mind how lucky we are that is one of our problems.
Right.
Some people would be like, I wish I had a problem with having a credit card. Because they probably can't even get a credit card.
True.
Or,
But where are my thoughts and prayers?
Right here, buddy. My thoughts and prayers are with you right now.
Say it to me. I want someone before I'm dead.
My thoughts and prayers are with you.
They go for me. Thank you, sir. Thank you. But it's, I totally get what you're saying. I mean, there's that saying, the person who was complaining about not having shoes looked at the person who didn't have feet, kind of attitude. And, I'm extremely humbled. I wasn't.
I know you are.
I truly wasn't.
Always
I didn't take it out on the girl. She was a beautiful sweetheart. Everyone was nice, great service. It was packed. I was liquored up. I felt great, had a great time, met some cool people. I played darts. I love darts. And that was about the only place left at the bar to even be able to hang out. Yeah. So, and
it was
I'm like,
packed.
What's that? Oh, it was packed. Yeah, it was Fat Tuesday, and everyone's celebrating. The music was loud. The people were fun. Everything was cool. Played darts with a few people. This one lady took me down and she beat me. And I must have been really fucking drunk, but at the same time, it was so much fun. And at the end of the night, and then it's like your whole great night turns to shit. And yet it wasn't the worst thing. I get it. I get a new card, and it's just annoying that in life I feel like there's always an obstacle. There's always a hurdle. And when does it end?
It'll never end.
It ends when we leave this world.
I think, as I said before, I think we need these downtimes, or not downtimes, but these low parts in our life to appreciate. Because I think at some point you were probably leveled off at a point where you're just content. You weren't feeling anything. Maybe you weren't appreciating anything until that point. Now that when you have your credit card with you from now on, you'll just appreciate having that. You think?
Well, I understand in order to have light, you need dark, and good to be bad. I get all that. I just get tired, and it beats you down when it never ends. There's always a new hurdle. There's always a new fucking thing to deal with. Like, when does it end? I mean, if you get sick, I got to deal with the medical bills, and they come in for months. And, 6 months later, I get a bill.
I think it's the universe's way of saying, you are getting too complacent with your happy life, and you are not giving any props to it. You are not saying, wow, this is an amazing life.
Amazing? I don't know about amazing.
I really need to stop and think how great my life is. and the universe sees that you're not doing that, you know what?
throw
Here
a
you
bone.
go. I'm gonna give you this. And some people think God is the one that's doing that. God always gives you, what you need in life, supposedly.
Yes.
So my thing is, because I'm agnostic, I believe the universe.
Agnostic being you don't believe in God, or you don't want to admit there's nothing, or what?
I'm either here nor there.
You're on the fence.
I believe things that I see. I don't believe in God, but I don't disbelieve in God. I can't prove he exists, but I
can't
can't
disprove.
prove he doesn't.
Do you believe the Earth is flat or round?
Ooh, that's
kinda the same thing.
I've never seen it from space, so I don't know. I've seen pictures of our globe, of our world.
That could be a lie.
That could be
Do you believe
fake news.
Do you believe in gravity?
Fake news.
Can't see it.
Well, gravity. I'm experiencing gravity, so yes, I do believe it.
All right. I was gonna say, don't jump off the roof, because gravity will prove you right or wrong.
No. There's conspiracy theories with did we really land on the moon?
I think we did. Why would they lie to us? Why would the government lie to us? What do they have to achieve?
No, that's true. I believe we did.
But I get tired
It
of.
seems like it is kind of easy just to fly and hit that rock up there.
You would think. I mean, it was only 1969.
But yeah, that's what's amazing to some people. That's what is amazing to some
In
conspiracy
69,
theories.
that we
Back
could do
in
that.
1969,
Huh?
that we could do all that. And today, at 2020, I can't get signal 20 feet away.
I agree.
In my car across the street, I can't
agree.
get signal on my phone.
I lose my signal all the time. Verizon, you suck. In this area,
AT&T.
no, I'm telling you,
So
it's horrible.
either one.
But yeah, 5G, right? Oh, what's that going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, everyone. Oh, it's so much better.
Supposedly, Elon Musk is launching satellites in space. Yeah, so that he can provide internet to the world.
To the world. And what's that going to charge me? $1,000 a month?
No, supposedly it's
Free.
smart. It might not be free, but it's affordable. But that's smart because the world runs on the internet.
If it works, I'm in. But you know what?
Absolutely.
Everything,
Well,
nothing
everyone's
works.
in.
The technology is
That's the point.
wonderful.
That's the point.
when it works.
That would be the point.
Okay, my porn's buffering all the time. You know how hard it is to rock one out when it's buffering all the time?
Well, you need to
It sucks.
You need to increase your megabytes on your.
It's bullshit. But I mean, I'm just telling you, Spectrum there, they say you get like 16 devices hooked up at once. I have one that's on. You know what I'm saying? And it buffers constantly. I'm so annoyed. But again, to me, this is those obstacles I'm talking
I
about.
think it's the site
No.
because my site is fine. My site buffers.
Are you on Spectrum?
I'm on Spectrum.
I think it's a location. The signal out here sucks. I'm telling you, it's bullshit. The other day I couldn't even call out of my home at my own cell because there was a network lost connection. Bullshit. I'm on Verizon on my phone though. But I feel like once again made some of those noises maybe. But once again,
You don't have to point it out.
Wow.
I'll cut it out.
I'm just saying we're working out our audio and our mics.
By
and
the way,
figuring out
I just want to take
another hurdle.
Yeah, I want to take this time to apologize for the audio of our previous episodes because we had some, technical issues. We're tech newbies, but we're improving. Please, if you stick with us, we will improve in video and audio eventually.
Figure this out.
We will figure this
What
out.
happened to the camera?
Well, we had a 360 camera here, and
Where'd it go?
I only had
enough memory?
space for one show.
Oh, okay. Not sure. All right, I'm learning as I go.
Anyway, back to
Well, apparently I'm a lip smacker, so I'm trying to work that out. However, when it comes to the obstacles in life, I feel every day there's a new obstacle. And yet, even when you try to live a good, healthy, clean, conservative life, and you try to be good and kind to others, the world just makes sure that you're not going to be happy. Do you know what I mean? And right now, my world is Spectrum and Verizon. They could go suck a big one because they're horrible. I'm paying a fortune every month. I'm sure there's more people out there. It's horrible. And yet, you have no options. What I can go to T-Mobile. They have a soon-to-be 5G. I don't even know what that means. But it's going to be light years better. We'll see.
I have AT&T. We have the same problems.
Yeah, but in this day and age, so like you said, 50 years ago, we went on the moon.
We went on the moon, and now you can't even get signal across the street.
Can't get it right. What's up with that?
That's
Bullshit.
technology.
However, technology has set this guy, jetpack. This guy went 3,000 feet plus in 30 seconds up in the air on an Iron Man suit. He's got wings. It's awesome. So what's your take on that? You can go 250 miles per hour. You don't know how to stop. There's no brakes, but whatever.
That'll be good for those kind of people.
I think that's amazing. You wouldn't buy one?
It's not going to be practical for the general public. It's
What do you think it'll be used for?
rich people, for rich qualified people. Not all rich people are going to have one of those.
But you don't think they would arm our military with that?
They could. That's possible.
Wouldn't that be the best military device ever?
No.
Like you put
The best-
300
the best
Navy
military-
SEALs in a flying machine like that
Or-
with machine guns.
Or you could get a drone and have no humans on it and just go by and shoot people with a drone.
Yeah, they got
you
the
just
drones.
strap someone on there and get
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Or what if it's
So you don't even need Iron Man. You just need a drone.
no, you don't need an Iron Man.
Iron Man, you're obsolete.
Absolutely. And
that's a good
here's the
point.
thing, if that starts getting production for, public use or consumer use and it runs out of gas in the air,
You just start
what
dropping.
are you going to do?
You drop. You gotta have a parachute.
Quote unquote glide down.
Well, I wonder if in the device itself it would have a parachute.
I'm sure it
That'd
does
be
have a
pretty smart to
parachute.
have
Well,
one of those chutes.
You would think it wouldn't take that much space to have a parachute.
Just a little bit of a chute.
Absolutely.
That would make sense.
But I mean, I would think just the cost alone would not be practical for, like, what do you call it? Transportation.
Well, cost efficiency, maybe not. But let's say you're a billionaire. Would you buy a suit like that?
No.
I would. I think that would be cool. But I'm afraid of heights.
You would strap it on. You would walk out the door and rocket yourself to work.
Well, I would definitely want one.
When you can safely get in your car.
I don't like to drive anymore. I don't like traffic.
Okay, if you were a millionaire, you could have a driver.
Well, I just don't like traffic anymore. And if I was a millionaire or a billionaire, I wouldn't be working, so I wouldn't be driving anyway. And I would have a driver. By the way, I might be taking interviews for a personal driver. I like to go out and have some cocktails, and I don't like to park. My biggest concern in life is I want to be dropped off in the front and picked up. And I think I can handle that with a personal driver. I don't need, think about this. If you were to get a DUI, it could be up to like 10 grand these days.
How much are you paying?
For what?
For this driver.
I'm thinking about, we'll negotiate because I don't want to like put this out on the air, but I think I can afford a driver when I go out drinking. Think about this, George. All right, I'm going to throw out some numbers.
Okay.
If I paid $10 an hour,
okay,
that's only $100 for the night.
Okay.
And I piss that away on basically in about 4 minutes. You know what I'm trying to say?
I can get a driver for you.
But you know what I'm trying to say,
absolutely.
Though? I can clearly,
get a driver for you.
But I want to get a nice Escalade and something like pimped out.
Oh, you want to rent the car too?
No, I'm going to buy one.
Oh, you want
with a driver.
Okay.
But I'm thinking these days, I'm successful. I think I could actually have a personal assistant to do a few things for me. But I mean, when you look at when you look at the grand scheme of things, it would be very affordable too. To pay someone out $200 a week, and then you have your driver. It's safe, it's convenient. Never parking again. I'm picked up, I'm dropped off, and then they do a few other things. But we used to think back in the day when we were younger that was impossible. But we piss away more money on crap, on nothing.
Oh, absolutely.
On drinks, on nothing.
Drinks, gambling, women.
Everything. I mean, it's unbelievable. That's one meal these days. I just spent $200 on a dinner. That's 1 week of a personal assistant that could do other things for me too and make money. Pick up my dry clean and help me out with my huge inventory of product that I need to get rid of. But my point is, I get so tired of parking and walking, and I'm a lazy fucker these days apparently. But I'm just saying, I want to live the life before I leave this world. And I think I can do it.
But you'll buy an Iron Man suit.
Well, again, that comes down to that fear of flying. Like, I don't like heights. I don't like technology that much. I don't really believe in it. But
plus, I like my car because I have my stuff in it.
Well, I do like that too.
My bag. I can carry my bag. I can carry groceries if I wanted to go to the grocery store after work. I can have my gym clothes in there. I can have, if I need to move stuff or if I need to bring stuff here and equipment to your place.
I get it.
I like having a car. Even when
I like a car too. That's why I want my driver.
I like traveling by car as opposed to plane sometimes when I go to Vegas.
Right.
I kind of like driving.
But let's say you had a personal helicopter that can store your personal belongings and you can fly from point A to point B above the traffic. You wouldn't do it? If money was not an option.
If there was space enough for all my stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a helicopter?
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
You don't trust the technology.
No. A helicopter, you need to, first of all, you would need the property to have a helicopter.
Well, if you had that kind of resources and money and property, you would have it. But I'm saying, if let's say you're a billionaire, you have the property, you have the money for the helicopter, you have a pilot even, not even you driving, would you want your own helicopter? Or would you rather have, let's just say, a driver with a nice car, like a stretch limo?
If I was a billionaire, I wouldn't mind a helicopter.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
I would actually fly it myself.
Yeah, I would hire a pilot because, once again, I want a driver.
I don't trust pilots anymore.
Well,
not after Kobe.
Yeah, well, that's a tough one on that one. But you would have more faith in yourself and your abilities. If you aren't comfortable, you wouldn't go up.
It's my fault.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. I'm just saying. I'm predicting right now on this day, this time, within 2 years, I'm gonna have a personal driver, or I should say, an assistant. That's my goal.
All right.
I don't want to. Like I said, I want to get picked up, dropped off. I have a little kid for $10 an hour. But let's say you go out for 5 hours. You picked up, you dropped off, and you're why worry? Why park? Why anything? What I'm trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a goal of my life. It sounds like it's only for the rich, but I think anybody can do it. Your take?
No, if I was rich, I would have a driver.
But not even rich. I mean, like I said, if $100, let's say you want to go out with a girl on an evening and you're going to get plastered.
Uber.
You can Uber, but you would look better with a driver, your own driver picked up.
Well, look, but
you're right, that's an Uber. It's an
Uber's
Uber.
just the same. Yeah,
And you know what? You could spend $30 getting to and from.
absolutely. You have to pay.
But so you double it to 60 and you have your own driver anyway.
I don't know if you'll get a decent driver that you would think is safe for $200 a week.
Not even. Well, $10 an hour. There's people out here that would do that.
And maybe $10.
So 6-7 hours for one night. It's $70.
But some people
you're going to
want-
spend 40 on an Uber anyway.
Some people want consistency. So
I would have to be consistent. I go out at least once a week. Instead of me driving, instead of taking the chance of a DUI, killing myself in a wreck, having to park, having to do. But I'm just saying, 7 hours a week. That's one day a week. They're my driver. I'm telling you, it's doable. But I don't think a lot of people think the way I do of success. You know what I'm saying? I want that though. That's one of my dreams, George. What's one of your goals? You gotta have a goal.
I mean, other than being rich?
Yeah, but I mean on the smaller scale, like having a personal driver. I shouldn't say personal driver. I'm talking about a personal assistant.
So a goal after you're rich. Is that what you're saying?
No, just a goal. You don't have to be rich. I could have a personal
My
assistant.
goal is to travel. I want to travel.
You want to travel more.
I want to travel.
And the way you want to travel, you need to be rich. That's the difference. What I'm trying to say is my personal assistant, I don't need to be rich to have that. It's $70 to $100 a week. I piss it away anyway. That's all I'm saying.
I think going out would get old, don't you think?
Doesn't get old now. Not for me. I enjoy going out.
Well, you don't go out
not every night, but I want to go out at least once a week till I'm dead.
Okay.
But I'm
so
just
you want
saying.
a driver once a week, or do you want this assistant / driver with you for the whole week, or just that one night?
No. It'd be part time. I mean, it's just a fantasy kind of goal that I think within 2 years could be the mark. But within 2 years, that's what I want because life is short. I want to live my dream. My dream is going to feel like it's smart too. It's safe. I just don't like parking anymore. I don't like driving drunk. I'm not saying I do. I'm just saying, when you go out, you have some cocktails and it's safer. It's better. There's no reason not to. And I spend the money anyway, so I might as well be I want a personal assistant.
So you want the personal assistant
to do other
you don't
things.
want Uber. I mean, Uber will take care of the driving.
I'm not an Uber kind of guy. I want my own assistant waiting on me the whole time. But when you think about it, and let's just say, where I live right now, and let's say an Uber had to drive me to 3 or 4 destinations in a night. Let's just say it's $10 with a tip, wherever it's $40 anyway. So if I'm paying a personal assistant $80, an extra 40, it's not going to kill me. That's the way I view it. So the money is there. That's for sure. And yet I get dropped off, picked up everywhere. Plus, it's the, you know what I mean? The feeling of having my little bitch. You know what I'm trying to say though? But it's like that goal. Everybody wants a personal assistant. Now, not everybody. I've always wanted a personal assistant to work on things. But as you get older and you become more successful, you kind of want to live that dream. Like I would want. And I'm sure people in Hollywood and rich people, they all have tons of assistants.
Yeah, they got personal assistants.
Before I die, I'm going to have my personal assistant.
All right.
But what do you want in life?
Like I said, I just want to travel.
Just to travel?
I want to travel. I want to have less stuff.
You want to downsize?
Yeah, absolutely. Downsize so I don't need anything. If I need something, either pay someone to do it or
you pay a personal assistant. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just
you back to wanting to downsize in your head?
I want to downsize, but I can't right now just because I need a lot.
It just doesn't work out in your lifestyle right now. But there was a time you downsized and it was a great feeling.
Absolutely. I had everything in one truck, and I was a trucker, by the way, for everyone out there. And those trucks, by the way, have everything you need in a home except for the bathroom. Some trucks actually do have a bathroom, but my semi truck had absolutely everything: microwave, TV, bed. I had some weights in there. I worked out.
Over the top, baby. Over the top.
Everything. I had everything except for a bathroom. All those truck stops. And some of you might not know, they have showers at truck stops, and that's how truckers take showers.
Did you wear flip-flops in those places?
Absolutely.
Say it.
Absolutely, I wore flip-flops. That's where the coronavirus might have started.
There you go.
Truck stops.
But at that time, you have to admit, life was probably simple.
Absolutely simple.
Right.
I drove.
And it was appealing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I trucked for 3 years, and not 3 years continuously. What I did was I leased a truck. I would lease a truck for 6 months, take a break for 1 or 2 months. I would save all that money that I drove for 6 months. I'd take a break for 1 or 2 months and visit my friends around the country, and then I'd go back and lease another truck for 6 to 8 months. I'd take 1 or 2 months break again, and I just rinse repeat. But while I was trucking, I had everything in my truck. I basically you're driving. If you're not driving, you're driving the whole 6 or 8 months.
Yeah, you never not driving.
Because if you're not driving, you're not making money. So I'm driving the whole 6 months, basically cross country, nationwide, East Coast to West Coast. And I saw a lot of America from the road. There's a few places that I was able to stop and go downtown and stuff like that. But it was a great experience. I've always wanted to try trucking, and I had the opportunity in my life to do so, because I don't have kids and I wasn't married at the time. So it was a good time for me to try different things, and I wanted to try trucking. I went to trucking school. I got my own truck, and it was actually a great experience. It was one of the greater experiences of my life.
Would you ever do it again?
Absolutely. I mean, if I couldn't get a job anywhere else, I would try.
So, like last resort, or would you quit what you're doing now to do it again?
It depends.
All right.
It depends.
So it's like
it's
in the back there.
Right now, at this point in my life, it would be a last resort, because I think I can get another. If I were to leave this job, I could get a job somewhere else doing something. And I have other,
Sure.
I have all kinds of other stuff in my.
No, that's good. I mean, to me, it seems like a very lonely lifestyle, but it also seems very peaceful.
It absolutely is a lonely lifestyle.
But it's peaceful. You see the country,
Right.
but also the way, someone who's not in that industry, I look at it and go, wow, the stress of driving those big trucks in the winter or in the cities and making turns. And,
it is.
People are cocksuckers. They don't let you in. They try to cut you off.
Absolutely.
And
it is
too stressful for me.
It was stressful at first, but just like anything in life, you do it if you do it enough times, it's just like second nature to you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like when you first drove a car, you're like, oh my God, I'm in traffic. I don't know, what to do. But just like that, it's just a little bigger, a little longer.
Sure.
You get trained well, and they don't pass you. The motor vehicle department doesn't pass you if you can't, because they test you.
Yeah.
They have a tester in the truck with you, and they don't pass you if they don't think you're going to be safe on the road. But also these companies make sure, because you're using their trucks.
Yeah.
And you're using their name and their product, or you're using their name. They don't want unsafe drivers connected with their name, so they make sure they have a great safety department. At least the company I work for, and they make sure that their drivers are safe.
Are you insured by them, by that company, or do you have your own private insurance?
When you lease a truck, you're owning your own business, sort of.
So you have your own insurance.
You have your own insurance. You pay for everything.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's kind of like owning a truck, basically. So there's 3 different ways you can truck. You can own a truck, which you can buy your own truck and do everything yourself. You can work for a company and get paid per mile, and so you just get a paycheck from that company, and they take care of everything. You can lease a truck, which is almost equivalent as buying a truck, and you pay for everything as well. But basically, the company that you work for does everything for you. You pay them, and they pay everyone else.
Nice.
So
that's the way you do it. You
that's
do
the
the
way
third
I
route.
do it. Yeah.
That's good.
I didn't have enough money to buy my own truck.
Oh, sure.
But it's basically the same thing. Buying your own truck and leasing your own truck is almost the same. And the only other thing different was being a company driver, which means you get paid per mile.
Do you recall a state that you drove through that you would never want to drive through again with a big rig? Was there ever?
Almost any city in the East Coast.
Any of them?
Yeah. Any Florida,
too much traffic,
up to Florida, all the way to New York.
Was it the traffic, or was it?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
traffic.
it's crazy, huh?
It's great driving in the Northeast between Colorado, Kansas,
like the Colorado Rockies and stuff. Yeah.
Well, the Colorado Rockies that's kind of rough too, especially in the winter, because there's hills and stuff. The best route really is the southern states, and it's just
it's flat.
It's flat.
Yeah,
and it's
open and not too much traffic.
And then the weather is great because the snow's never.
That's interesting, man.
And so another thing I do want to touch on the trucking is I kind of realized this before. It's kind of like when you start doing something and you never appreciate what it is before you did it.
Yeah.
Trucking was one of them. And I actually realized that, and there's a saying within the trucking community that without trucks, America would stop.
Absolutely.
Because that is how everything is delivered. That's how everything is put into every state.
Absolutely.
And how everything is delivered.
The
without
unions,
trucks,
absolutely. That was Jimmy Hoffa back in the day creating the unions.
Ooh.
That's the truth. I mean, without that, everything stops. Commerce stops.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it ends.
Mail, groceries,
now
products, everything.
At those truck stops, they got hookers that come by. What are they called? They're hooker lizards or something. There was a term.
Lot lizards.
Lot lizards.
Yeah.
I knew there was a term for them.
Oh my God, I have a story.
I gotta hear it.
So
please share.
They are disgusting. First of all.
Hey, depending on your standard.
Well, so all these trucks. So everyone parks backed up into a parking spot.
All right.
So you have your front windshield open, and most of the time, all these trucks are equipped with curtains that you can close them. Anyway, mine was open at the time, and I see this female figure walking around, jumping from truck to truck, right?
All right.
So she goes in the truck, and I'm here doing my paperwork, and I look back up, 15 minutes later, she hops out of that truck. And in between trucks, There's this puddle of water on the ground.
She's rinsing.
She squats down on this puddle of water on the ground.
Fantastic.
And splashes herself from that water, dries herself off, and hops onto the other truck.
Fantastic.
And that is why
these are the stories people need to hear.
Is illegal.
That's it. People have to hear these stories. This is a benefit to all humankind.
Oh my God, it was amazing to me. That never. I will remember that image for the rest of my life.
Man, she wasn't even good looking, right? Like a 4 out of 10.
It's just a dark figure on the ground. I don't even know if it was a girl or a guy. They just hop from truck to truck.
The truckers are so lonely.
Themselves from the water, on the ground.
But so lonely and horny, they don't give a fuck.
Absolutely.
It's crazy, crazy shit, man. So I read
just for some truckers. Not all truckers are like that, obviously.
I read this story. It totally changed the subject here, but John Sonny Francisi, and he was an old-time mobster, died recently, just a couple of days ago, at 103. And yet, you look on social media, you see so many posts of people, oh, rest in peace. This fascination that the general public of today, are just so intrigued by these mobsters, and I am too. But they're like sad that this killer gangster, just terrible man, terrible human being. But yeah, we have this fascination with gangsters. What's your take on that?
So that when you said it's from a Facebook post, I question those people not knowing who that guy is. And some of these people just thinking that just a person has died, not knowing their background.
Okay.
And just immediately thinking, rest in peace. Not greeting them, but
grieving.
Yes, but
their condolences.
They're giving their condolences.
No, they knew
because they think that's the right thing to do without knowing the person's background. And I think that's part of the problem with today's people is they jump on this concept of
they're sheep. They follow.
Well, they follow, or they just see this one thing, that incident that happened, and the right thing to do is to say, rest in peace, God be with you, thoughts and prayers. But
thoughts and prayers.
But if they knew who that person was and what they did in their life, they would not do that. They would not say that.
That's the way I think, but they obviously know, because the story, it'd be hard to see any part of it not knowing the story, because they say the end of an era. He died at 103. He's been around forever. He was from Lucky Luciano to Capone. I mean, he's been around forever. And he was a gangster who literally kept his word, went to prison, could have ratted out, whatever. He kept the code of honor. And it's very impressive. I mean, in that time frame when he went behind bars, I mean, there were gangsters giving up everybody, but he wasn't a rat, so-called rat. Did his time like a man, came out and lived a very long life, 103 years old. But
apparently crime pays.
For that boy, it did. I mean, he got served like a 50-year sentence. I don't know what he served, probably all 50 even. But it is fascinating that the general public, I mean, a lot of people, we just look into these criminals and as their celebrities. John Gotti in the time of in the 90s, I mean, he was loved by his community. He's a gangster. I mean, he killed people. And yet we saw them as celebrities, and it's odd. I get it to a point. We're all fascinated by that criminal element. Without a doubt. I know I am, but I wouldn't be posting, rest in peace. Oh my God. Who gives a fuck? He died. And that's, all right, rest in peace, whatever. But he's not he's not a good guy.
Right.
He's a killer.
Yeah.
He's a criminal. It's amazing he lived the life he lived. I'm surprised, but it's just fascinating to me how, I don't know, people don't really realize the whole story. Like you said, they see a headline, a clickbait or whatever, and then they don't even know what they're commenting on. When you think about someone who lived that life, I mean, that's probably why people are fascinated, because he was basically, had relations with every gangster we've ever known. I mean, in a sense.
And he's seen
seen it all.
He's seen the progression of
everything.
The world.
And that's why they say, this era he's the last of that era. And it's fascinating to a point just to think, he was alive during Capone, Lucky Luciano, Bugsy Siegel, the beginning of Vegas, all everything. And whether he had a role or not in different, I'm sure he met, because he was a high ranking at some point, But my fascination is why people are fascinated with him. Even though I love gangster movies, I love real life gangster stories, but you have the general public on social media saying all of these comments, and you're like, what the fuck, man? This guy's a killer, and you're treating him like a pope kind of attitude. Once again, our thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
Lucky. Yeah. But it's just fascinating to me. I can't wait. I'm sure somebody will write a movie about this guy.
That
because he's done so much. And his son is even more fascinating because he got out of the life and he became a motivational speaker. He found God. He's, this and that, but he's actually very entertaining. I have some documentaries on him. Michael Franzese. He's a very fascinating guy, and I think that's somebody that would actually talk to us. If he would. Okay. He probably would. And he's stone cold killer again, but he was more of the guy that he was an earner, what they call an earner, money maker for the mob. He wasn't a killer, but I'm sure he had things going on. But he was an earner, and back in, I think it was the 80s, he made his name by they were defrauding gas stations by the gas stations wouldn't pay the tax.
Yeah,
and
their
so
tax.
Yeah, and so it's just amazing. The guys are smart. They're smart out there. But he was making millions, for the family, so-called family. But and then he got out and saw the light. That there's no ending to this other than die early or go to prison for life. And he did get out. He might have served a few years, but and then looking over his shoulder the rest of his life. But he's out, and he speaks at like colleges or something. Crazy. But he's always kind of what I've heard him say on documentaries is that the people that would wish him dead they're all gone. They all died off. And who knows anymore. But interesting character. If you ever get to see his story, it's pretty fascinating.
What's his son's name?
Michael Franzese.
Michael Franzese. That brings me to something I've been thinking about was when, back then when there was mobsters and that whole era when mobsters were killing people in public, there would be shootouts.
Sure.
There would be murders. People would be wrapped up in carpets and thrown in the water. People would be just massacred. And there was no social media back then.
Right.
Like there is now. And there's shootings here and there. And then you see these posts on Facebook saying, what's happening to this world?
Right.
What's this world coming to? But it was happening back then. There's murders, cold-blooded murders in public, hangings. There's hangings right now in Mexico. Hangings, executions, people being wrapped up in plastic, being tied up with concrete blocks and being thrown into the water. There was all this killing and violence back then.
Absolutely.
It's always been like this.
But before the internet, it was probably even worse.
Exactly.
Yeah, we hear about it more now, so people think it was worse.
More law enforcement now,
but before
it was worse.
Before DNA and fingerprints and shit like that. That's why there were so many killings, because unless someone had a witness and the gun,
there was actual serial killing still.
Right, and
I don't hear about serial killings anymore.
Right, it's all gone.
Yeah,
because they would catch them quicker.
Well, sure, there's cameras everywhere now.
Cameras, DNA,
if anything,
forensics.
This world is safe. The world today is actually safer than it was before.
But think about a time before cameras, before the internet, before DNA, before fingerprints, all of this. Think about how easy it would be to whack somebody. That's why it was crazy. The gangsters ran the world.
Robbing banks,
anything,
stealing from stores,
anything.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
But people these days that live in some kind of bubble, they don't understand that it was actually worse back then.
We are so much safer today on everything.
Absolutely.
But because you hear about every little, thing, it makes it look like, once again, the media is to scare us. So instead of us buying stocks when the shit goes down, we're worried about buying bottled water.
Right. Security system's another racket.
The chances of you actually being broken into is next to none. I mean, I don't know. It's for 2%.
Right. Here anyway, in certain neighborhoods.
If you live in the ghetto.
I bet you, okay. There's a bunch of...
But generally speaking, the chances, I know every day someone's broken into every 35 seconds or whatever. But generally speaking, the chances of a homeowner in a nice area, if you're not living in the ghetto, it's pretty slim.
But
yet they brainwash us to believe we're all going to get broken into, have a gun, have an alarm system, have a dog, whatever. I get it. I mean, I buy into it as well. I have many guns. I can't wait.
I do feel safer. I mean, the house I live in now has a security system.
Absolutely.
I do feel safer when it's, when we put it on the stay mode.
What's that?
When you have it, as opposed to away mode.
Oh.
You have a setting where you set the alarm for away is when you leave the house and there should be no one inside.
Okay.
As opposed to when you put it on stay, you're inside the house, so the motion detectors detect you, but the alarm doesn't go off. It only goes off if a door opens. So when you go to bed, you put it on stay.
I like it too.
And if the doors open or the windows get broken, then alarm goes off.
My alarm's called home.
Okay.
Not stay, but it's the same concept.
So I like it too. It does bring peace of mind.
Because if somebody opens up a door, it's going to go off. I agree.
But yes, the chances are slim that you are going to get broken into, but
what do you weigh? We judge on the side of caution.
Right.
And it does give peace of mind to have something. Absolutely. Because if you're sleeping, if something opens, you'll hear an alarm. It censors and tells the people, send a patrol unit to my dead body.
Or it scares them off. I mean...
Right. No, it's without a doubt a good thing, without a doubt. But society now has scared us all into it's fear tactics.
Sure.
To get us to be scared to buy all of these things. But today alone, I should say yesterday, but the they're telling us to stock up on canned foods in case you get sick. You don't have to go out in public. Right. Medicines, bottled waters, and they're putting the fear into people. And I get it. And I'm a hoarder. My natural thing is I want to hoard everything. So I'm already in that zone because I want to stockpile from toilet paper to bottled water to whatever I need.
Right.
But that's
you don't want to keep going back in and out of stores.
Well, I just like to be prepared. If the shit hits the fan, I want to have everything I need.
You're a doomsday prepper.
I really am that type of person. But when you hear the media kind of push that narrative, it puts people at uneasy. It's an uneasy feeling like, oh my God. And like I was saying earlier, I said it before, where the rich are buying stocks when it's low. When the economy takes a dump, the rich get richer. And the poor, we fight for the table scraps of the bottled waters and the whatever you want to stockpile. I get it. I understand it. But it's funny that the media is all a part of it. That they're getting the lower class people, the uneducated, the working class to feed into this bullshit. And we're all fighting about Democrats and Republicans. It's amazing when you think about it. It doesn't matter. Like the president's already picked. Right, we just fight about it like it matters. So let's just say right now Bernie Sanders is the front runner of the Democrats. If he were to get nominated, great, whatever, and he's going to go up against Trump, one of them is going to be your president, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
Most likely it's going to be Trump.
Okay, so for the next 4 years, it's the same shit. The Democrats are going to try to get him out for some bullshit that he does.
You mean Republicans?
Well, no, the Democrats would try to get Trump out.
Because Trump is going to. Yeah.
And it's the same for the next 4 years. He's always battling the Democrats. They're just trashing him, and it's the same shit. If Bernie gets elected and he beats Trump, he's going to try to push his agenda, which will never get passed. Nothing's going to get passed. And it's the same shit for 4 years. Like nothing really changes, and yet the American people, we just keep fighting. We're always divided, but the rich will continually get rich and the poor keep fighting. And really, no one really cares about the poor. In all honesty, no one really cares.
Well, it seems like the economy is doing well. Currently.
Oh.
Currently, I mean, at least the company I work for seems to be doing very well. And so is everyone else. I see there's a lot of traffic out there, which to me indicates a good economy. Well, and then when you go out, there's people in the bars.
Everywhere.
You go shopping, there's people buying. There's crowds. Every time I go into a store, it's just nothing but crowds.
But again, people live on debt. It's all charging. But
which means, that means the stock
they
have
exchange.
The credit, which means
it's Wall Street.
The money.
Yeah. Well, it's all about Wall Street. But like my 401k took a $6,000 hit, so I lost $6,000 yesterday for doing nothing. But I just sit on it and it'll bounce back.
Sure.
But what about people who are trying to retire right away and want to cash out? They just took a hit. They can't even afford to do that now. It sucks, but I mean, it's a long-term kind of thing. But the people who have the money and the resources, once again, will buy when it collapses. They buy low, right. And that's what happened. When I feel, I don't know if this is true or not. I just feel when everyone makes everyone panic and the stocks take a dive, the people with billions of dollars, once again, they go in when it's low, they buy it all up, and then the market will change. Let's just say tomorrow they announce the coronavirus is now gone. We have a cure. A cure. Vaccine. It's done.
Right.
And a year from now, we don't even know what the coronavirus is anymore. And all the people that bought in and the stock market starts going up again. Think about the billions of dollars people would have made.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that is our time. Already. That is our time for this episode. Hopefully some of you learned something new or something that you have to look up because we gave you the wrong information. Or maybe we just connected with some of you at some level, or you were just plain entertained. Thanks, everyone. Remember, always be grateful. Think of the things you have in life and don't obsess about what you don't have. Keep looking forward and always strive to be better than you were yesterday.
Absolutely. Good episode. And be kind, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Take care.